Yeah, good morning everyone. And it is the B.Ed fourth sem. The subject name is Inclusive Education. And today we are going to discuss about the inclusive education, meeting diverse needs in modern classroom. So, inclusive education represents a transformation approach to teaching that welcomes and support all the students regardless of ability, background and learning differences. By creating learning environment where every child feels valued and can participate meaningfully, we build stronger communities and prepare students for success in our diverse world. The, this presentation explores the key aspects of inclusive education with a focus on understanding and accommodating students with disabilities, those from the marginalized groups. We will examine practical strategies, evidence-based approaches, and collaborative framework that enables educators to create truly inclusive classrooms where all the students can try for the same. So let us begin with this. If you are new viewer of this particular class, I request you please do subscribe my channel and share the same so that it's going to be useful for all the people. So let us discuss and understanding the cognitive impairments, that intellectual disabilities. So what are the characteristics, how it can be assessment, and what is the educational needs. Characteristics: challenging with learning, reasoning and problem solving. So those who are having the understanding cognitive impairments, the character will be there will be a challenging uh, with learning, reasoning and problem solving. Assessment: so diagnosis through the cognitive and adaptive function tests and education leads. So structural learning, concrete example and step-by-step instruction. So the cognitive impairments and intellectual disabilities affects the approximately 1 to 3% of the global population. Students with these conditions often experience challenges with the abstract thinking, memory, attention, and generalizing skills across settings. They typically learn at a slower pace and may need more repetition and reinforcement. When teaching students with the cognitive impairments, it is essential to break down complex tasks into small steps, use visual supports, and provide frequent opportunities for practice, focusing on functional skills alongside academic content creates a balanced educational approach that promotes independent and meaningful participation. So this is about the understanding cognitive impairments and intellectual disabilities. So first we have to see what is the characters are required, how we can be assess the same, and what is the educational needs. So this pyramid says about this cognitive impairments. And see, in this particular slide we are going to discuss about the physical disabilities, identification and accommodation of strategies. So there are four types of impairments. One is mobility impairments and stamina and fatigue, fine and motor challenges, written expression. So mobility impairment. So the condition affect movement and coordination, requires accessible pathway and adapted equipments. And stamina and fatigue, If the energy limitation requires flexible and scheduling and rest period, and fine motor challenges difficult with writing, manipulating objects, and completing detailed tasks benefiting from assistive technology, written expression, alternative response method like dictation, keyboards, or speech to text solution. So, the physical disability can vary widely in type and severity, from temporary condition to permanent impairments. Identify these needs early, allow educators to implement the appropriate accommodations that maximize participation and learning. The goal is to remove barriers rather than lower expectation. So, successful inclusion of students with the physical disabilities require thoughtful classroom arrangement, strategic seating, and appropriate technology. Remember that physical disabilities not necessarily impact the cognitive functioning. Avoid making assumptions about the student's intellectual abilities based on physical appearance and capabilities. So, cerebral palsy and educational approach and support. So, first of all, we have to assess, then accommodate, then collaboration, then progress monitoring. So, cerebral palsy is a neurological condition affecting movements, postures, and coordination. Its impact on education varies widely, with some students expressing mild motor difficulties while others face more significant challenges that may include speech, vision, or cognitive impairments. Each student with the cerebral palsy presents a unique profile and requires individualized support. So, effective educational programs for students with the cerebral palsy emphasize accessibility, communication support, and social inclusion. Augmentative and alternative communication, that is AAC. Again, I am repeating, augmentative and alternative communication system can be life changing for students with the limited verbal abilities, while peering buddy programs foster meaningful social connections and reduce isolation. So, how we are going to create the accessible learning environment for all the students? First of all, there is a physical area, digital access, social access, circular access. What is physical access? It is a barrier-free navigation, accessible furniture, and proper lighting. Then, a digital access, assistive technologies, accessible digital content and support files, and circular access, multiple formats, differentiated learn material, and flexible assessment. Social access, structured interaction, peer support, and inclusive activities. So, accessible learning environment benefit all the students, not just those with the identified disabilities. This is UDL, means Universal Design for Learning. Principal guide us to provide multiple means of engagement, representations, and action or expression, allowing each learner to access the content in ways that work best for them. Behind the physical considerations, accessibility include creating emotional safe space where diverse perspectives are valued and mistakes are viewed as opportunities for growth. So it is a beautiful word is given. The mistakes are viewed as opportunities for growth. This holistic approach to accessibility fosters a sense of belonging that fundamental and to a psychological safety and optimal learning condition for every student. So, effective teaching strategies for diverse learner. So there are four steps are given here: differentiated instructions, scaffolding learning, multiple sensory approach, formative assessment. Differentiated instruction, tailoring content, process, and product to meet individual learning needs while maintaining high expectation for all. Tied assignments, flexible grouping, choice of boards, and multi-sensor approach. So engaging multiple senses to strengthen learning pathways and accommodate different processing styles, visual support, hands-on activities, movement integration. Then scaffolding learning. It is providing temporary supports that gradually fades as students develop independent with the new skill like modeling, think aloud, guided practice. Then formative assessment, ongoing monitor of student progress to guide instructional decision and provide timely feedback. Exit tickets, progressive monitoring, student self-assessment. So, effective inclusive teaching balance challenges with the support, creating opportunities for all the students to engage meaningfully and content. Research shows that strategies beneficial for the students with disabilities often enhance learning for all the students by offering multiple pathways to mastery. When implementing these approaches, maintain high expectation while providing appropriate support. The goal is to maximize independence and foster self-advocacy skills that will serve students throughout their educational journey and beyond. So, how we are going to support this particular teaching, building collaborative support network. There is a professional collaboration, family partnership, and multidisciplinary teams. So, regular co-planning between genders, staff, and special educator create a seamless support system. Shared with expertise leads to more effective instruction and creative problem solving approach that benefit all the students in the classroom. Then family partnership. So family provides invaluable insight about their children's strengths, challenges, and effective strategies. Establishing regular and two-way communication that build trust and ensure consistent approach between home and school environment. Multidisciplinary team. So therapists, counselors, specialists contribute to specialized knowledge that enhance the classroom practices. Coordinating service maximize impact and prevent fragmented approach to support students with the complex needs. So successful inclusive education is never solo enduro. Means one cannot do alone and everything. So you have to have the collaboration with the professional team, with the family support and multidisciplinary teams. By building strong collaborative networks, educators create comprehensive support system that address the whole child. So these partnership distribute transfer responsibility while leveraging diverse expertise to solve complex challenges. So next step, implementing the inclusive practices in classroom. Okay, see how we are going to implement these practices in the classroom. Reflective and access. So examine the current practices, identify the barriers to full participation. You have to recognize what is the barriers, what is it stops them to participate in classroom. So you have to develop the action plan, select the priority areas and establish the measurable goals. So, and one more thing, you have to implement the change. Start with a high impact, manageable modification. Review and refine. So every time you have to review what has happened and what need to be done. Monitor progress and adjust approach based on outcome. So creating an inclusive classroom is an ongoing journey rather than destination. So begin by examining your current environment and practices through accessible lens. Identify what's working well and where barriers might exist for students with different needs and backgrounds. Focus on progress rather than perfection. Focus on progress rather than perfection. Celebrating small wins along the way. Remember that inclusive education is the ultimate about belonging, creating spaces where every child is valued for their unique contribution and supported to reach their full potential. By committing this vision, you become part of global movement toward the more equitable and effective education for all.